Awesome. So we're recording. Welcome to another Saturday webinar. Today, we're going to be looking over some macro time frame traps. We're going to be looking on the daily, on the 4-hour chart, and then we're going to take it down to the 15-minute chart to show how you can actually enter into these trades. Now, one thing that affected me early on was I was really good at analysis, especially at macro analysis, analyzing moves months ahead and big shifts in the market, all into the using moon confluence and all of these things on higher time frames. And what happened was I got to this point where I understood the higher time frame and these larger movements in the market, but I wasn't looking to be some type of swing trader holding trades for years at a time, months at a time. But I knew it was a profound talent that I was developing and something that I wanted to utilize in my trading, right? But then what happened was, I got around Brandon, and Brandon was just making money all the time. If you guys are just watching this and you don't know who Brandon is, he's my mentor, Brandon Evo. He has the Unity group. You can look him up. He's a fellow Forexia member. Anyway, being around him, what I saw was like he didn't even care about any of that. He took it into account, but what he was doing was paying attention to the current move in the market. He wasn't worried about what the market's going to be doing in 10 months when he's going to be out of a trade in 10 minutes. And it was frustrating because I had this talent with this analyzing, and I wanted to bring it together. Like, how can I actually get in the trade? And this is where it really became a struggle, and it took months to really mend this. And in the meantime, what I did was just continue to trade and just look at it like I'm learning, I'm experimenting, but more so just gaining experience. So it was never a big deal like, oh, I need to figure this out all right now. I knew, I did have the foresight to know while going through all this struggle that I was gaining experience. And even to this day, because as I keep growing, my lot size grows. And, your lot size now is you gaining experience for your future larger lot size. It's the same concept of leveling up with weights. You work with 100 pounds to get to the dumbbells of, you work with the dumbbells, then you can bench press. You have to continue to level up and build strength on top, right? So that's a concept to really be aware of. It's about gaining the strength in your skill. And then when you get to that level you want to be at, that's when you can drop 30 lots. I know that's what we are all striving to be able to drop. I mean, at least me and a lot of us, we want to be able to drop several lots and it just be a regular trade. And I can tell you, when I first started, 0.1 seemed like a lot. A standard lot seemed like a lot. And I was on my 0.01s. And, eventually 0.1 is nothing. It's just regular. So you just need to continue to level up. So when you get to when a lot is regular, it's nothing when you go to 2, right? So it's a gradual progression, and it never goes away no matter what level you get to, whether you're the top dog trading if you're the biggest fish in your pond and you're the one dropping down 10 standards, or you got the Ferrari, there's somebody with 10 Ferraris dropping 100 standards, right? So what this brings up is to another point I'm going to bring up, which is you don't compete with the man with 10 Ferraris with 100 standards. What you're doing is constantly leveling up yourself at your own rate. So you want to go at your pace, but go hard at your pace, if you understand what I mean. So that's why you don't want to compare to the next man or woman. You want to use them as a template, as a blueprint, as an inspiration, as a motivation to where you can get, right? That's it. Because once you start to compare, you start to project these negative characteristics about your current state, and you think that your current state is actually you when it's not. So you need to realize you're not your current state and focus on the leveling up process. And now let's go bring me to my last point and we'll get on the charts, which was actually my initial topic. The topic is actually related to the money management of a lot of traders, because there's this concept of making it back. Let me write that out. I want y'all to just look at those words. How many of y'all have lost and you just want to make it back? Where's my K? Let me check the chat here. Yeah, only compete with yourself. Yeah, all right. So everyone says, Dave, yes. Dave, we talked, I'm glad you're in here, bro, because we were just talking about this, making it back, because it's something that traders do, and you wonder why you have these different symptoms. One could be that you're over leveraging and you're blowing your accounts. Another could be that you kind of just keep lingering around the same break even area. Like you say you have a $100 account, you go down to 85, you go up to 110, you end up back at 100. And this happens month after month. And you wonder, how the hell does that happen, right? It's something psychological about you trying to make it back. And what we don't realize about when we're actually trying to make it back is it's rooted in fear. And you know what fear that actually is? I had this epiphany last night. To me, it's the fear of loss. It comes back to not wanting to lose a trade. You still thinking about your prior losses and you're trying to make that back. It's almost like you're using your capital as, you know, worms, bait to catch these fish, and you lose all that bait in that batch or that account, and you're still trying to get back this old bait or these fish that you could have caught, when you need to actually just go get a fresh pack of bait, you know? And that's not to say to continuously reload your account, but it's to realize in this particular instance that you can't make it back. It's gone. So what we need to do is focus on generating new wealth, moving forward, and we need to be all right with our losses and just realize that we can't redeem. Redemption in this case is gone. Redemption is basically what? What would you compare redemption to in the market? What type of trading is someone who's, let's see if anyone picked this up. What type of trading would you call someone who's looking for redemption in the market? We're going deep. Gambling for sure. I would say they are revenge trading for sure. Revenge trading. You don't realize it because facts. Because even though you might have moved on to trades way down the line and you're done with those trades, and you're still traumatized by like a big loss on, let's say, I remember I lost on Euro USD it was last year, and it was me like trying to catch a falling knife reversal, kept falling. I added on positions, and it was like a news situation where it happened so fast. And I basically like lost 3 times on one trade with multiple positions and blew like 30% of my account in 1 minute when I was really risking like 1 to 2%. It was just god awful, and it traumatized me. And like an inclination was to try to make that all back, like just make it back. And I realized you can't. You gotta let it go. It's almost like you got hurt by a previous girlfriend and you're bringing that on into your future relationships. How you ever gonna grow with your new shorty? How you ever gonna, you know what I'm saying? So let it go. Let it go. You got your heart broken by Olivia. She blew your account. FTB, let it go. Bye-bye. FTB to the FTB. All right. So do we have any questions or anything, or y'all just want to jump on the charts? What's good? Oh, I want to plug, starting Monday, we got Ready for the Week with Elwin. You know, that's gonna be my show Mondays, and you can only check that out exclusively at the Forexia Academy. Okay, we becoming a real streaming platform. We providing real content. We going in. We on some next level stuff. This is edutainment. This is gonna marinate where it stick. This is family. This is not them. Okay, so we can't make it back, baby. So, all right. So actually, we'll go ahead and jump on the charts. We'll get serious here. Let's get to work. This was actually an analysis that I was looking at last week, right? What I was seeing here, and what I'm going to do is tie it into how I actually did scalp this pair. And actually, it wasn't the breakout of this daily trend line, but we were inducing back to the trend line here. Now we know what we know about higher time frames is they lead to stronger fractal patterns, which means stronger traps, which means bigger moves, right? So we always want to look at a higher time frame and get a bigger picture on our trade. Now, another gem, when you're looking at a trade, when you're looking at a chart and it doesn't make sense, I'm telling you, keep jumping out time frames and it starts to make more and more sense. If it's not making any sense, it could just be, you know, a choppy ass market, but you should make sense of that it's chopping, right? And if a certain type of structure doesn't make sense at all, it's just because you need to keep studying and keep back testing. And I know that's a broken record, but that's the only way you start to see how this pattern, how this structure plays out in these different scenarios. Like, I would get caught in certain seller traps, certain consolidations, like the induction before a midweek reversal. I would get caught in it a lot. I was like, why is price just hanging around? Is it up? Is it down? My EMA is doing this. And then once I realized that it was a trap, you know, it was an induction, I got it, you know, and then I can see it unfolding and I can decide, do I want to trade this one or do I just want to stay away? And most of the time I stay away. But the more and more I trade, it's like everything's an induction. So I'm taking the move that I can get and I'm using my higher time frame in hand to have the strongest move as possible. So on the daily, we see several taps to this trend line. Let's mark up, guys. So we did break out around here, but pull right back in. Keep in mind, you know, this is last fall. So CADJPY trending down. So what we know is when price comes back around this area, this trend line is, what do we know? What we know is psychologically, the retail world, which we're part of, but you know, we strive to be on the other end. And also what I forgot to mention is, I said I realized these traps and these structures. I didn't realize these traps and these structures. I had to get together with a mentor, mainly Mark English, and he showed me what was going on. And then I got better at identifying it, and me and Human, you know, just go back and forth over this. So yeah, human, as Dave says, human expectation zones, right? People people selling off hair. So what I actually wanted to see on this was a breakout of the trend line. And the reason I wanted to see that was because I anticipate a lot of people selling off of this area, right? Even giving them a clear M. So I wanted something like that. We could always come back. So that's why you want to know what move you're looking for. There's two moves. Everything we're doing in trading is going to be a counter move with the market maker against the retail. So that's why people get confused with traps. And you know, there are traps unfolding on multiple time frames. But what we want to do is, so like say in this instance, say that price played up here and gave you a buy signal on your lower time frame. You want to buy anticipating that this is a breakout to induce buys. So in this case, you're buying with the retail, but you're aware, and you're actually buying against the retail, as in the ones selling here with stop losses likely above here. So what you're doing is going with the market maker. And even if you're buying this induction, you want to be aware of the induction. Be like, oh, this is a higher time frame induction. So an induction can be 1,000 pips. Shoot. So you need to know what you're looking for. So this is actually why I wanted to take this move, because I usually wait for after the induction and then the reversal back into the ongoing trend. So, you know, that's the move. Please don't draw on the screen. All right, so let's see here. Go on the 4 hour. See, like they're trying to stage some type of trend line here is what I saw, right? So I saw several taps back to this area. Another thing I saw was, if price wanna reverse at all, so like let's say that price was not gonna break out of here per se, and then price was simply gonna reverse off of this peak here, what I could do is just manage my trade, right? So buy this either up to here, or buy it or continue to trail it as it continues to go through that area, right? So what I'm trying to show y'all is advanced trade management, being adaptive, being like water in an uncertain market where opportunity presents itself. So with the way we manage our trades with these 10 pip, 15 pip max stop losses, if you're over here using anything more, I'll say if you're using anything more than 30, we really need to talk. Now, I personally use 10, occasionally may jump up to 15 for certain type of pairs, but anything above that, you're risking too much, right? I can tell you others may use that a larger time frame, a larger stop loss. And there's like my mentor, Mark English, will use a bigger stop loss, but he knows what he's doing. He knows that where he needs to leave room, and he's going for bigger moves. He's catching 50 pips, 60 pips, 100 pips, day in, day out. So if you're not there yet, you really need to use these tighter stop losses to manage your trade. So I'll actually show you, because this was, you know, basically not a great move, but I turned it into profit. So let's go ahead and go on the 15-minute time frame. And this is actually where, you know, I saw something on the daily, but for me to get in, what I need an entry on a lower time frame with a tight stop loss. And what do I know? This line that we, you know, drew it back, basically it did induce buys out of this area. Look how it broke out of that, pull right back. That's an induction. And that's why we say, be careful on the induction. It will get you, especially think about people that buy right here. You go 30 pips in your direction, you don't take anything, you buy the stop punt. You have your stop loss below here, you know, 20 pips before Friday to trap. So that's how you can get trapped. You know, now say this didn't happen on Friday, which you could say this happened on Thursday. What you could say is, okay, they induced buys, shifted against them. Now let's wait for the sell. But the move that I actually was looking for this week, because I knew it was an induction and I can tell how choppy it is, but I actually wanted to buy an induction because I don't know, I just like to try new things, keep growing, keep my risk managed, and don't be so like stuck in my one move all the time. But I'm not telling you to get all over the place. And what this move still met every part of my entry criteria. So there's a big difference. So, you know, we did get playing off of this area. You see how it made this W several taps. When you see a lot of taps like this, a lot of times they're telling people buy, buy, come on, buy, buy, trend line, buy, 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 buy. So when I see something like this, I'm like induction. And you'll see Dylan take a lot of moves like this because he just knows what they're doing. So once price shifted out of here, played into here, I did grab a entry on the 15, on the 5 minute, I think. Let me try to find my entry. I'm not gonna bring up my journal right now just because anytime I load anything else while zooming, it freezes up. But yeah, I think I got in when it accumulated over the, let's see here. Yeah, it was an Asian session on Thursday, somewhere in here before London Open. That's usually when I'm up. So if you guys are looking for pre-London moves, you know, I might be up for those. So yeah, definitely 10 pip stop loss got me below here. And then I just trailed this, and as it I'm trying to remember where I got out. I think it was like right about long, so I got in here because that stop punt took me out in profits. About like right there. So, you know, that's a good risk to reward ratio. That's what we always want to look for. Sorry, guys, just want to adjust that. Tight stop losses, nice entries. So the point is what I'm trying to make here in this example was, I thought it was a good example because it highlighted a lot of things. It highlighted where using your higher time frame to see a macro trap, bring it down to your 4 hour, which is a clutch time frame, all the way into your 15-minute to align an entry with your entry criteria to take a trade, right? And all at the same time, I tried something new because, like I said, I'm not trading an induction, but I didn't break any of my rules. I don't have a rule that says I can't trade the induction. So this was my example that I was speaking on, and I wanted to relate to, you know, my whole journey from the beginning. Now, do we have any questions? We only have about 10 minutes here. Did anyone want to go over anything before we get out of here? What's up, guys? All right, how about this? Any pair y'all want to look over? I can just close it off. Y'all sleep. What's good? What's good? Gucci, Gucci. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Let's look at GU. AUDUSD. Okay. There we go. There we go. I want some engagement. Just absorbing. Okay, Dave. Of course, brother. And feel free to message me. I meant to message you, Dave, so we could talk. So message me after this. Let's look at AUDUSD. I already want to jump on the daily. I'm just hooked on my daily right now because I do want to mention there is a new moon today. So get ready to reap the benefits of all the hard work you put in on that full moon. And just know we might have some shifts in the market. I want to make this make the most sense for right now. as my big homie Mark English say, when drawing your trend lines, it's an art form, not an exact science, okay? We're trying to see what retailers would most likely do. I don't want to draw a lot of lines. I want to try to execute this with as little lines as possible. Okay, what do you expect from a new moon? I expect some type of shift in the market. That's what I'll say. Some type of add fuel to the flame of what's going on. Let's throw our new moon indicator on, actually. Full moon indicator, moon phases. It's called moon phases. They have it in TradingView. If you're going to use it, only use it on larger time frames to really see the overall, try to get a vibe for what's going on with these moves. So, I mean, like you can see how the moon will spark moves. Like, look, right at the new moon, we got this. Sorry. So, blue is new moon. Yeah. Blue is new moon. Gray is full moon. So look, right at this full moon, we got this crazy, right before the new moon changeover. Boom, new moon. Just kind of made a first leg macro move, like bearish here. Keep in mind, this move is 160 pips. We're on the daily chart. So next full moon, boom, second leg. We got this whole moon was an induction. Second leg M, right? Just inducing people selling off of here, gutted them, wants to continue down. So this is when I say everything's an induction, but don't get all like here a trap, there a trap. Just go with it and just find your place amongst these moves. So let's kind of move it along. Full moon sparks some uptrend. New moon, we had consolidation. This full moon hit, and boom. This was the dump. This was the market maker dump. This was 400 pips in 20 days, which is a lot for AUD, you know, keep in context what pair we're looking at. Also, keep in mind, just look at the candles. Like, this is a lot of bearish days. And this is where, guys, you can really make some money, just like finding a smooth ECR and swing that boy, okay? But you do want to use your higher time frame. What you do is, this is what gives you confidence in the moves, okay? You say support, trend resistance, resisting off of this area. So a lot of people are selling off of this, right? Also form this trend line. We talked about that induction ECR area you could trade a lot of times, which is a lot of times the second tap in that future forming trend line. And we're on a daily, and we just saw this on the 15th. So remember the multi-fractal, okay? We're bringing it all together. These are all moving parts in the market, and we're bringing it all together. We're not getting confused. We're so clear in our minds with this, right? So let's keep it going. Turns resistant, bouncing off, boom, boom. What happens? Retail want to sell off of this, okay? You know, this is an M. Oh, we've been going up. We got to reverse. Market maker moves against them in one day. Assuming a news event, 80 pip candle, 70 pip candle on this. Oh, what do you know? Right at the full moon changeover. See, that's what I say. It's not going to say, oh, new moon market go up, full moon market go down necessarily. But what do we see? Manipulation. And why? Because this market is human emotion. Why the moon? Because the moon has an effect on human emotions. The moon controls the tides. We are water, we're electricity. It's all connected. As above, so below. So if you want to get these pips, you got to get a little spiritual, a little metaphysical with it as well if you really want to understand what's going on. Now, anybody can have a sick risk management system and move along. You know, risk management can do the trick for you. But if you really want to get behind it, you got to see that this is a human emotion. This pattern is nothing but human emotion. This pattern is seen everywhere, and that's what Dylan's been preaching. Go at the Forexia Investors Alliance YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, go to the Forexia Investors Alliance. This is where I got this knowledge from. Go there now. Okay. So boom. I don't actually like that. You see prices kept playing around this area. So a lot of people buying off of here. We came back to this area. You see how we're back there now. So, and we have a new moon cycle. Oof, I'm expecting a shift. Let's see here. We might bounce off of this. Let's go on a 1 hour. Let's go on a 4 hour. We have a little bit of time. Oh shoot, let me check the chat. We blowing up. A lot of news this week. Coincidence? I think not. Yep. Yep. You'll always notice like NFP or FOMC will accompany a moon phase. It's all a stage. This is all this. Let's not get all Illuminati, but and to me, this looks like we induced to this area for a whole month. I mean, for a whole 2 weeks, because each cycle is going to be 2 weeks. We're back at this. Let's see here. I'm just breaking it down right now, guys. Need a minute sometimes to see what I see. Okay. I think RU could reverse. I'm sorry. Let's not say reverse, but could break out of this support, this resistance, as well as this trend line being drawn. Careful with that word reversal, because puts a image in some people's heads. So I want to be careful using that. But what I could see this pair doing is breaking out, right? Because a lot of people are going to be selling. After it do that, probably induce a little more, and we could continue down on this, right? Let me go look on the 15-minute before I close up. Shoot, we're gonna run out of time. All right, what I'll do is I'll share this with the Academy for sure. We're gonna wait till, we'll look at this Monday morning after the open, and then we'll get more in depth on this. Let's see how this one opens, guys. All right, I appreciate everyone being here. Shout out to my day ones, my winners. Let's win. Inducing people to buy mooncakes. Yum. All right, family, hit me in the chat. Hope this was fun. Hope this was a full experience. Peace.